Hello everyone, Gucci for the win here, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. First of all, I just want to apologize for the difference in microphone quality here. My headset that I normally use is out of commission currently, so my wife is lending me some earbuds. But what I want to get to today is we have a brand new main box to go through. Now, I'm not going to do just like I did on the mini box overview. I went through every single card. I don't really want to do that with this. I just kind of want to go over some of the new support, some of the new cards that I think are interesting, and kind of what I think is going to be pretty useful and whatnot. But so we're pretty much going to go through all the ultra rares and all the super rares, and then a couple of the other stuff that might be archetype specific. So in this box, we actually have a few new archetypes, at least three. So those archetypes are Madolches, Batterymen, and Lavals, which is pretty interesting because I know Madolches, they are definitely an Xyz archetype, and I feel like Lavals are an Xyz archetype as well. They could be Synchro also, I'm not sure. But there is actually some more support for a very, well, at least in its early iterations of the deck. It was also an Xyz archetype as well. But we're just going to go ahead and jump into the box. So first off, we have Batteryman Industrial Strength. Can't be normal summon set. Have to remove 2 Batterymen from your graveyard to special summon it. And you can remove 1 Thunder type monster from your grave once per turn to destroy a monster and spell or trap card on the field. So I will be completely honest, I have no idea what the main win condition, well, I mean, I know what the win condition of Batteryman is. It's OTK. Batterymen are just kind of like, they just want to get as many monsters on the board to buff their attack, which could be hindered by field size, but I don't think it'll be that much of a hindrance. I think they'll probably be a fairly strong archetype coming out of the box, to be honest. The next monster here is Celestia Lightsworn Angel. When you tribute summon with a Lightsworn monster, you can send your top 4 cards of your deck to the graveyard, then target up to 2 cards your opponent controls and destroy them. I don't think that's really going to make Lightsworns any better, but there are some other Lightsworn cards in this box to help out a little bit. At least one that I know for sure that will probably be very, probably a staple in the deck. Next we have Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target up to 2 monsters in their graveyard. Banish those targets. Your opponent cannot banish cards from either player's graveyard. This card was actually very useful. I'm pretty sure in the Spellbook deck in the TCG during Dragon Ruler format. I think it eventually got hit on the ban list, maybe? Maybe not. I don't remember quite all too well. But it's a very interesting card. I don't really know how many archetypes right now are banishing cards from their graveyard other than Spellbook. So this could go in a Spellbook deck for a mirror match, but I'm not sure exactly how prominent Spellbooks are in the current meta. I haven't really kept up lately, to be honest. Next we have Thunder Seahorse, so we have more Thunder support. You can discard this card, add 2 level 4 light Thunder type monsters of the same name with 1600 or less attack from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of Thunder Seahorse once per turn, and you can't special summon during the turn you activate this effect. So this is I would think would be useful in Batterymen decks, to be honest, just because they're Thunder monsters. But you probably won't see too much play until Xyz become a thing and the Hunters pretty much get their value finally. Next we have Magician of Faith. It's a flip effect. Target a spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand, so you can kind of recycle some of your spells. A little slow, don't know how much play it'll see in the game, but we'll find out. Then we have some more Gem Knight monsters. So we have Lady Brilliant Diamond here. 3 Gem Knight monsters must fusion summon with the above materials. You can only special summon Brilliant Diamond once per turn. Once per turn, you can send 1 face-up Gem Knight monster you control to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon 1 Gem Knight fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. That is honestly pretty decent. You can just get a free, well, not really free, but you can get a Gem Knight fusion monster. So this is the cover card here, and it's pretty cool to see this card because this is the first of what is known as the Omni Heroes. So this is Elemental Hero Nova Master. Basically, when it destroys a monster, you draw a card. That's all it does. But the Omni Heroes are a set of elemental heroes that just require any elemental hero and then any monster with a particular attribute of whatever the monster you're summoning is. So Nova Master is the first one they have. We also have Escurial, Gaia, the Shining, Absolute Zero, Great Tornado, I think is his name. And is there another one I'm missing? I don't think so. I think it's all. But to be honest, I don't really know if the Omni Heroes will be that great unless we get Super Polarization. Super Polarization, if you're not aware, allows you to use your opponent's monsters. I actually played an Elemental Hero deck back when I first started actually getting into competitive back in like 2012, 2013. Just for fun, just playing an Elemental Hero deck, and I would use Omni Heroes, Super Poly, Mass Change. It was pretty fun. But Nova Master, pretty cool just to see an Omni Hero in here. We do have a few more Elemental Hero fusions in this box as well. We might go over those. Next, we have Dust Tornado. So this is probably going to be a card that everyone's going to suggest to go in this box for. It is generic back row removal with pretty much no cost. It's a little slow because it is a trap card, but you do get to, if you do use it, you can set a spell trap card from your hand. So not really any drawbacks here, to be honest. So probably definitely going to be a card a lot of people are going to want to go for. Next, we have Horn of the Phantom Beast. Now, I think this card is actually going to make Restart Bujins a little better because, well, first of all, you're gaining attack points, and that's probably one of the biggest weaknesses, I would think, maybe, of Bujins. They don't really get very beefy. So if your opponent summons something that's a little too big and you don't have Sinew engraved, you can use Horn of the Phantom Beast to kind of get over it. But another pretty decent secondary effect of this card is once you destroy a monster by battle, while this card is equipped to a Beast Warrior type monster, if that monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you get to draw a card. So it's definitely going to keep gaining you resources later on. And it's a really nice attack boost of 800 attack. So if you have a regular Yamato on the field, equip this, he's now 2600. So definitely a force to be reckoned with. Next we have Kunai with Chain, kind of like a replacement to Econ, but also you can have one of your monsters gain 500 attack, so pretty cool. So next we're on to the SR, so we have Soul of Purity and Light. It's a 1 tribute monster that, well, you can't even normal summon it. You can only special summon it by removing 2 light monsters in your graveyard from play, and your opponent loses 300 attack on all their monsters during the battle phase, so not that great. Alright, so this is one of the, I think this is pretty much the star of the Madolche cards, the non-XCs Madolche cards that we have in the game. I think Hoot Cake is really good, but I don't think they added Hoot Cake. So basically Madolches, whenever they leave the field, instead of going to the graveyard, they get shuffled back into the deck. And that's pretty much the whole playstyle. So if this card is destroyed, sent to your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. While you have no monsters in your graveyard, this card gains 800 attack and defense. After damage calculation, when this card battles an opponent's monster, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy that target. So Pudding Cess is, like I said, probably the main star of the deck. Not really sure what the win condition of Madolches is going to be in the game, but if they are playable, someone will definitely find a way. I'm sure this deck's going to do a lot of playtesting on Duel Links for sure. So we have Curse of Dragonfire. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target 1 field spell card on the field, destroy it. Once per turn, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion materials, including this card. So you can fusion summon without a polarization, so that's actually pretty cool. Okay, I'm sorry, I was dying. I had to go get some water. But yeah, this card definitely going to be useful for the Gaia Dragon Champion Charger guy that is also in this box. Actually, he was in one of the selection boxes, I think the first one actually, so he's finally available by regular means, but this will definitely come in handy there. It is a 1 tribute monster, so Don't know exactly how useful it's going to be, but we'll see. Alright, so this is the next archetype that has gotten quite a bit of support in this box, and that is Fire Fist. So we have Dragon here. Once per turn, if you activate a fire formation spell or trap card except during the damage step, you can set one fire formation trap card directly from your deck. Once per turn, you can send 2 face-up fire formation spell or trap cards you control to the graveyard, then target 1 Fire Fist monster in your graveyard except Dragon, and special summon that target. Now, the general playstyle of Fire Fists is setting fire formations from your deck and then sending face-up fire formations to gain an effect. I know the most the most prominent Fire Fist monster and fire formation would be Fire Fist Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear. And the fire formation was Fire Formation Tanky. Tanky allows you to search a Beast Warrior, which all the Fire Fists just so happen to be. Which is also really good in Boojins. So once Tenki comes, Boojins definitely get a huge boost in consistency. And then I think Bear, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if you send face-ups to pop spells, traps. Like if you can pop back row, monsters, or either. But you can pop something. I remember that. Unfortunately, we didn't get him either. Alright, next we have Evocator Chevalier. This card is treated as a normal monster. It's a Gemini. So it's Gemini effect. You can send 1 face-up a quick card you control to the graveyard, then target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy that target. I mean, Noble Knights? Like they need a non-archetypal support card. So here we have Treasure Panda. Nice Ojama yellow in the background there. You can banish up to 3 spell trap cards from your graveyard face down. Special 1 normal monster from your deck, whose level equals the number of cards banished to activate this effect. Alright. I really don't know why you'd want to summon a level 3 vanilla monster from your deck. Unless they're gearing up for Synchros. If they're gearing up for Synchros, that could actually not be that bad of a deal there. But still. Alright, so our next Fire Fist we have is Leopard. During your main phase, if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you contribute 1 Fire Fist monster, set 1 fire formation spell trap card directly from your deck. You can only use the effect of Leopard once per turn. Basically, just trading a monster for a fire formation. So it looks like you can actually tribute this card, which actually wouldn't be a bad idea because Leopard doesn't have a lot of good stats there. So it could be a decent trade for a bigger fire formation. So we finally have Gilsaurus. You can special summon this card from your hand. If summoned this way, activate this effect. Your opponent can special summon 1 monster from their graveyard. So it looks like, based on some of these monsters, it looks to be that they might be gearing up for synchro summoning pretty soon. A lot of people were expecting it to be before this box was released, just based on the amount of boxes they had before they released GX. But my own personal speculation, I believe it might be either next month or September. So I guess we'll find out. But I fully expect it to be before the end of the year, if not before the end of the summer, or fall. Definitely before winter, I would think. But time will tell, my friends. Time will tell. Alright, so here is the first, I guess, regular battery man you can actually play. It's a flip effect monster. So when it's flipped, you special summon 1 level 4 or lower battery man monster from your deck, except Microcell. After this card has been flipped face up, when it is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, draw 1 card. So, it is a flip effect monster, so your Nobleman of Crossouts, or whatever it's called. I think it's Nobleman of Crossout. They're definitely going to be a lot better now because we have a few more flip effect monsters that look like they could actually be useful in pretty decent decks. But if it's destroyed, which this thing is getting flipped face up by anything, it's probably going to get destroyed unless it's Amazon's, because it does have to be sent to the graveyard. But once that happens, you do get to draw a card, so good at gaining a few more resources because you already get to thin your deck just a little bit because you get to special summon a Battery Man monster. So definitely a pretty good card. So we have I think this very well may be our first 2000 attack vanilla monster. And, of all things, it is a dinosaur. So, you Dino Faithfuls have another decent beater to put out on the field. So, definitely going to see some play, I highly predict. So, here is Sky Galloping Gaia the Dragon Champion. Trademark, copyright, etc., etc. So this card's name becomes Gaia the Dragon Champion while on the field. If this card is special summon, add 1 Spiral Spear Strike from your deck or graveyard to your hand. When this card declares an attack on an opponent's monster, you can change the battle position at that opponent's monster. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. Only needs Gaia the Fierce Knight monster, one Gaia the Fierce Knight monster, so it doesn't even have to be the OG Gaia. And 1 dragon type monster, non-specific. So very good. Well, its fusion requirements are very good because it's somewhat generic enough that you could pull it off. So pretty good. Then we have Gem Knight Fusion. Fusion summon 1 Gem Knight fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or side of the field as fusion materials. This card is in your graveyard. Banish 1 Gem Knight monster from your graveyard. Add this card to your hand. Gem Knight's got some decent support here. I think they did get a few more fusion monsters we will probably look at later on. But this might be the last SR. It is. So that's all the ultra rares and super rares. So let's try to go through and spot all the other support. So here is another Battery Man. So we have Charger. When it's normal summon, special summon 1 Battery Man monster, except Charger from your hand or deck. And this card gains 300 attack and defense for each Thunder type monster you control. So that is another thing about Batterymen. I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier or not, but they typically gain attack points based on the other Batterymen you have on your field, and that's kind of how they reach their OTK potential. So let's see the next. This is a Lava monster, Lava Burner. If you have 3 more Lava monsters with different names in your graveyard, you special summon this card from your hand. So once again, another special summon from your hand monster. Definitely appears that they're kind of gearing up for a little more special summon heavy meta, which is why I think synchros are coming very soon. Then we have Super Electromagnetic Voltec Dragon. This is actually a Battery Man card, even though it's not Battery Man. But if you tribute summon this card by tributing one of the following monsters, this card gets the appropriate effect. Battery Man D gets to negate the effect of a spell or trap card that targets this one card. During battle between this with Battery Man C, during battle between this attacking card and defense position monster, piercing, and Battery Man AA, this card gains 1,000 attack. Then we actually have the newest Battery Man in the TCG, I believe, and this is Battery Man Solar. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send 1 Thunder type monster from your deck to the graveyard. If a Thunder type monster is normal or special summon while this monster is on the field, special summon 1 Battery Man token. You can target 1 Battery Man effect monster you control or in your graveyard. This card's name becomes that monster's until the end phase. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. I honestly don't know why you'd want a Battery Man token. Other than for the name, but that's probably all you need it for. So here we have Fire Fist Rhino. If a Fire Fist monster you control attacks or is attacked during damage calculation, you can send 1 face-up Fire Formation spell trap card you control and 1 Fire Fist monster from your hand to the graveyard once per battle. Your attacked monster gains attack equal to the original attack of the monster sent to the graveyard during damage calculation. So basically, honest, but more resource intensive, essentially. Then we have Snake. Once per turn, if a Fire Formation spell trap is sent to your graveyard, you can set 1 Fire Formation trap card directly from your deck. Once per turn, if you control no other monsters, you can send 2 face-up Fire Formation spell trap cards you control to the graveyard to draw 1 card. So that's not bad either. Any card that kind of lets you draw, which it seems like they're adding a lot more draw cards lately. So here's a Gem Knight Alexandrite. Tribute this card. Special summon one Gem Knight normal monster from your deck. I honestly don't know what Gem Knight normal monsters we actually have in the game, to be honest. Here's another Laval cannon. When this card is normal or flipped summon, you can target one of your banished Laval monsters, special summon that target. And I will be honest, I don't know the play style. I really don't know how you play Lavals. It's not, at least to my knowledge, it's not a very, I don't know if it's ever been a very popular deck, but it would be interesting to see. It doesn't look like they're all that beefy, so I'm curious what the win condition of the deck is. So here's Madolche Messengelato. It has the Madolche effect, which if it's destroyed, you shuffle it back into the deck. When this card is special summon, you can add one Madolche spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. You must control a face-up beast-type Madolche monster to activate and to resolve this effect. So I'm pretty sure that doesn't count Pudding Sis. I think Pudding Sis might actually be a fairy. I'm not entirely sure. So this is the Lightsworn monster I was talking about earlier that it's definitely going to be a staple in the deck. And this is Wolf. And the reason Wolf is probably going to be a staple in the deck is it is a 2100 beater, 4-star monster. So you can normal summon it. No, you can't. Never mind. I'm a liar. Cannot be normal summoned or set. So if it's milled, if it's sent to the graveyard, if it's sent from the deck to the graveyard, you can special summon it, which is why it's very useful in Lightsworn decks. Then we have Batteryman AA. If all double A's on your side of the field are in attack position, this card gains 1,000 attack for each Batteryman AA on your side of the field. If all AA on your side of the field are in defense position, this card gains 1,000 for each Batteryman AA on your side of the field. Basically, they all work together, which batteries make sense. Gem Knight Obsidian. If this card is sent from your hand to the graveyard, you can target one level 4 or lower normal monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. So, yeah, Gem Knights. That's what they do, I guess. Batteryman D! Your opponent cannot select a Thunder-type monster you control as an attack target. So here's some more Elemental Hero Fusions. One, this is Wild Wingman. And basically you can discard a card to target a spell or trap card and destroy it. Essentially Plasma Vice, but for back row. Then we have Zirconia, which is a vanilla. Here's Amethyst. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, return all set, spell, and trap cards on the field to the hand. So a Hatronade. Decent. Here's Dark Bright. Destroys a monster. Well, it inflicts piercing. If this card attacks, it is changed to defense position, and if it is destroyed, you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Then we have Rampart Blaster, which can attack from defense position. This card can attack directly. Oh, it can attack directly while in defense position. Okay, but it only does 1,000 damage, so that's interesting. I don't think I ever read that card enough. We don't care about you. Lady Lapis Lazuli. What do you do? Let's see, you can special summon one once per turn. You can send one Gem Knight monster from your main deck or extra deck to the graveyard, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each special summon monster on the field. Not too bad. So, against Fur Hires, let's say, theoretically, just this card, and as long as they have a full board, which Fur Hires usually do, that's 1,500 damage right there. And if you have two more special summon monsters on the field, on your side of the field, it's a grand total of 2,500 attack. Well, 2,500 points of damage, not attack. So that's a pretty good chunk of damage. So we got Battery Charger, basically pay 500, special summon a Batteryman. Lightsworn Sanctuary is new. I don't think this really does anything, to be honest. It's basically just protection. It gets counters when Lightsworns are sent to the graveyard, and then you can remove 2 counters to protect the Lightsworn monster. So, not that good. So this is a Madolche field spell, which is Chateau. When this card is activated, shuffle all Madolche monsters in your graveyard into the deck. All Madolche monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense. If a monster in your graveyard would be returned to the deck by the effect of a Madolche monster, you can add it to your hand instead. So definitely a very good field spell in the Madolche strategy. So definitely going to want one of those if you plan on picking up the Madolches. Here is Ticket, which is a continuous spell. When a Madolche card is returned from his field or graveyard to your hand or main deck by card effect, add one Madolche monster from your deck to your hand. If you control a face-up fairy type Madolche monster, you can special summon the monster from your deck in face-up attack position instead of adding it to your hand. So a searcher, but also a way to special summon monsters you do search. I'm trying to just go for archetype specific for the archetypes we've talked about. So here's another fire formation. When it's first activated, you target a Beast Warrior type monster you control, gain 700 attack till the end of the turn, and then all Beast Warrior type monsters you control gain 300 attack. Here's another Lightsworn card. I didn't read this one, but that looks like Lumina on the art. Activate this card by targeting one Lightsworn monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in face-up attack position. During each of your end phases, send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. This card leaves the field, destroy that monster. When that monster leaves the field, destroy this card. Okay, so it does nothing but send... It special summons... It's basically a Call of the Haunted, but it also mills your deck more, which... We already have a very, very limited amount of deck size here. So we have Ultimate Fire Formation Scythe. Banish 7 Fire Formation spell trap cards from your graveyard. Special summon as many Fire Fist monsters as possible from your graveyard. Then you can set Fire Formation spell trap cards directly from your deck, except Scythe up to the number of monsters special summoned by this effect. I highly doubt this is going to see that much play because I don't really know if you're going to be using that many Fire Formation spell or trap cards in a Fire Formation deck in a 30 card maximum deck size limit. And so let's say you do have the 7. You have used all 7, and that all 7 are in your graveyard. Plus you have this card. That's already 8 cards of, let's say, a 20 card deck. So you have 12 cards. Well, you only have space for 12 cards that could be monsters that could help your strategy. I don't think this is a very good card. 3,000 Needles, Jawsman, blah, 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 AAA. It's normal summon or flip summon, special summon 1 AAA from your hand or graveyard. Eolite is a Gemini. Oh. Once per turn, banish 1 Gemini monster from your graveyard, target 1 Gemini card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. Okay, pretty cool. Basically, just a recycler. Pothole Squad, there's another Laval. When it's normal summon, if you have Laval in your graveyard other than Blaster, choose a number from 1 to 5, then send that many cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. This card gains 200 attack for each Laval sent to the graveyard to activate this effect, so that's garbage. This card is sent to the graveyard, all Laval monsters you can currently control gain 300 attack, that's also garbage. Laval Warrior, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of the destroyed monster. You must have 4 or more Laval monsters with different names in your graveyard to activate and resolve this effect. Dear goodness. Madolche Butlerusk. When this card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, okay, send it to the deck instead. When this card is normal summon, you can add 1 field spell card from your deck to your hand. There must be another face-up Madolche monster on the field to activate and to resolve this effect. So there's a good way. You can search out your field spell right there. That is actually a Laval card. It's not noted as one. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can banish 1 Laval monster from your graveyard. This card gains 300 attack until the end phase. So this is a problem with the Lavals. They all need to be in the graveyard, but there's not any reliable way to send them to the graveyard, I don't think. Here's Gem Merchant. Don't think that helps much. Here's another one. You can banish this card from your graveyard. All face-up Laval monsters you currently control gain 400 attack. I don't know. Miller. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can send 2 Laval monsters from your deck to your graveyard. So there you go. A very slow way of sending Lavals to your graveyard. Fuel. What is this even supposed to be? I mean, other than a cat. When this card you control is destroyed, do the Madolche thing. When this card is normal summon, special summon with one Madolche monster from your hand. Okay, cool. Photons, cool. Batteryman C. If all Batteryman C's you control are in attack position, all machine type monsters you control gain 500 attack for each C you control. If all C's you control are in defense position, okay, basically the same as double A, but not as much. Chow Chow Chan, Sea Koala, Tree Otter, Steel Scorpion, Robotic Knight, Lapis, Pikemen, Fifth Hope. Target 5 elemental hero cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, then draw 2 cards. Draw 3 cards instead if you had no other cards on your side of the field and in your hand when you activate this card. So you're out of resources, you top deck this thing. Draw 3 cards. Cool. Hero Heart. Target a face-up elemental hero monster you control, have its attack until the end of this turn, but it can attack twice during this turn's battle phase. So, cool. Lightsworn Saber. Was sent from your deck to the graveyard. Target a Lightsworn you control. Equip. Okay, so you get to equip it no matter what. Cool. Quick Charger. Add 2 level 4 lower Batteryman monsters from your graveyard to your hand. Recycling Batteries. Target 2 Thunder-type monsters with 1500 or less attack in your graveyard. Add those targets to your hand. Searing Firewall. Banish any number of Lava monsters from your graveyard. Special summon an equal number of Lava tokens. Okay, this does not help put Lavaballs in the grave. Fire Formation Kaio. During the turn this card is activated, if a Beast Warrior you control attacks defense position, inflict piercing. All Beast Warrior type monsters gain 300. Gym Enhancement. Tribute 1 Gem Knight monster. Target 1 Gem Knight monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target from the graveyard. So, Hero Signal. This is actually pretty decent, if not slow though. When a monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon a level 4 or lower elemental hero monster from your hand or deck. And then Hero Spirit. During the battle phase, if an elemental hero monster you controlled was destroyed by battle this turn, make the battle damage from one of your opponent's monsters 0. Madolche Lesson. Target 1 Madolche monster in your graveyard. Shuffle that target into the deck, and if you do, all Madolche monsters you currently control gain 800 attack and defense. Then you can shuffle 1 other monster from your graveyard into the deck. I don't know how useful that card is, because I don't really know how often Madolches are going to be sent to the graveyard. Madolche Knights. When a monster effect is activated, if you have no monsters in your graveyard, negate the activation. Then if you control Madolche Puddingsis, shuffle 1 random card from your opponent's hand into the deck. Dear goodness, that is a broken card! Wow, that's awesome. So this is one thing I was going to talk about whenever I finally get around to making a Mecha Phantom Beast deck profile. It's bad, promise you. But it has an archetypal negation card, and I think having negation type cards in decks, especially archetype specific, it's definitely going to become the new thing to do, and I think it'll see a lot more relevance in the future of the metagame. Madolche T-Break. When a spell trap card is activated, if you have no monsters in your graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, return it to the hand. Dang, another negate? Wow, they have 2 negations. If you control Puddingsis, destroy 1 card your opponent controls. Dear goodness, that's awesome. Waltz. Each time a Madolche monster you control attacks or is attacked after damage calculation, inflict 300 damage to your opponent. That is useless. Madolche Palooza. Special summon any number of Madolche monsters from your hand, but shuffle them into the deck during the end phase. Metal Detector. It's a Law Ball card right there. Is that anything? Nope. Wait. Negate all continuous trap cards during the turn this card is activated. Okay, that's stupid. Still no way to put... Dear goodness. Paradox Fusion. Remote Revenge. Alright, that's all. That's the box. There we go. You can read some of the other useless... there's probably some sort of golden nugget in there. But my phone's about to die, so I'm going to finish this up quick. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me know what you guys think are going to be some of the bigger archetypes to come out of this box. Honestly, I think, personally, in my professional opinion, Batterymen and Madolches are looking like the best archetypes to come out of this box. And to be honest, I would probably put more of that statement power, whatever you want to call it, towards Madolches, because they just seem... well, it'll depend on how easily you can get to Pudding Sis and the field spell. But 2 Negates is pretty good. But thanks again so much for watching. See you guys next time. Peace out.